Welcome to today's explainer, Class 5. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Have you ever wished you had a real-life superpower? Like having the super strength to easily lift giant rocks or move incredibly heavy objects without even breaking a sweat? Well, today we're going to learn exactly how to get that super strength to do really hard work, using just a little bit of science.
I want you to just take a second and picture this. Imagine trying to lift up a heavy car or pry open a tightly sealed giant wooden box using absolutely nothing but your fingers and your bare hands. Sounds completely impossible, right? Doing physical work this way takes a massive amount of energy, and frankly, our hands just aren't built for that kind of heavy lifting. It's exhausting just thinking about it, but what if we had some clever help?
The solution to our heavy lifting problem is actually quite simple. Literally, enter simple machines. Let's read this carefully together. A simple machine is a device that makes doing work easier and faster. It lets us use way less effort to do a lot more work. And you want to know the absolute best part? They have very few or sometimes absolutely no moving parts at all. Think of them as our ultimate invisible helpers that save our energy and make the impossible totally possible.
Let's talk about the 6 simple machines.
These helpers aren't just stuck inside your science books. They are everywhere around us. Let's see how we group them. Here they are, the big 6 superhero team of the science world. We've got number 1, the lever, number 2, the pulley, 3, the wheel and axle, 4, the inclined plane, 5, the screw, and number 6, the wedge. Every single time you see a machine doing something incredible, it's usually using one or maybe a combination of these 6 simple machines.
So, what is a lever?
For today's explainer, we aren't going to look at all 6 of these superheroes. Instead, we're going to zoom in and solve the mystery of just the very first one on our list. So what exactly is a lever? Well, a lever is simply a long and rigid bar that rests on a fixed point. And this brilliantly illustrates how simple these machines really are. There are just 2 things you need to picture in your mind: a rigid bar, which just means a stiff stick or piece of metal that doesn't bend, and a fixed point that it rests on. You usually put this long machine right under an object to easily lift it up into the air.
Let's uncover the secret anatomy of a lever.
But how does a simple bar resting on a point actually give us super strength? Well, every single lever has a secret anatomy made up of 3 main components. First up, we have effort, which scientists usually just write as a capital letter E. Effort is the force that a user applies on the lever. This is the pushing or pulling energy that you, the superhero user, bring to the tool. It's the actual muscle power you put in at one end of the bar to get things moving. Next up is the load, represented by a capital letter L. The load is the weight of the body on which work is to be done. Think of the load as the heavy object, that giant rock we talked about, or whatever stubborn thing that we're trying so hard to lift or move. It is the problem that we are trying to solve with our simple machine. And finally, we have the magic ingredient, the fulcrum, written as a capital F. The fulcrum is the fixed point about which the lever moves freely to do the required work. Remember that resting spot we talked about earlier that doesn't move at all? That's it. It acts as the pivot point. When you push your effort down on one side, the bar rocks over the fulcrum, easily pushing the load up on the other side. This is the spot that makes all the magic lifting happen.
Let's look at some everyday levers around us.
Now that we know the science and the special terms, let's connect this back to real life. Because levers aren't just found in giant construction sites, they are secretly hiding all over our homes, our kitchens, and our schools. Door handles, bottle openers, and crowbars, these are all perfect examples of everyday levers. Think about it. When you push down on a door handle to open a door, you are applying the effort, the handle turns on its fulcrum, and it pulls the latch inside, which is the load. When someone uses a bottle opener to pop a tight metal cap off a bottle, they're using a lever to do work that their bare fingers could never, ever do. You use levers to make your work easier all the time, probably without even knowing it.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I have a quick challenge for you. Look around your room or your classroom right now. Can you spot a hidden lever? Remember, you're looking for a rigid bar, a fixed point to pivot on, some effort from you, and a load to move. Keep your eyes open, because science is absolutely everywhere. Thanks so much for learning with me today, Class 5, and happy lever hunting.